Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to have you both here with us. Maybe you could just kick off with an introduction to the film. For people who haven't seen it yet, what can they expect?
This is Joaqui of Paso. He's the director. I'm Lucy Pawlak. I'm his co-writer, and also I did production design.
We are here for a film called The Hole in the Fence. It's a Mexican-Polish production that got its premiere in Venice this year. And this is our first screening in England. We are just very excited and happy to share this very strong story with the audience.
And what was the inspiration behind it? Why did you help to put this particular story on the big screen?
It's based on personal experiences while studying in a Catholic school for boys only, and it just comes from a very visceral analysis or feeling about the constant injustice that we live in Mexico and actually in many other countries.
One element is to explore the structural violence that takes place in these kinds of the repercussions that these kinds of elite schools have on the whole of society in terms of creating divisions, fences, walls between people that like separate and things are less likely to kind of mingle. So, and then in relation to that, to think about like a multi-character plot with 35 teenage boys finally working on the set, and then how to tell a story through so many different characters, like not one central hero figure, was also super exciting. And yeah, to like also, I guess that the film contains within it the teachers stage a kind of a drama in order to sort of psychologically manipulate the students during this summer camp, and so how this kind of also might be like a meta-criticism on like thriller film formats or something like that as well. It seems like an exciting way to explore some things through a narrative like that. I'm pretty obsessed with narrative.
And can you talk us a bit about talk us through the casting process and how did you know you had the right people to act in the film?
The film is played by a big group of kids. It's 35 of them playing the film, plus around 9-10 adults playing the teachers and other secondary characters from the village, basically from the village and the staff. We started looking for these boys in schools, in private schools in Mexico City, and we created a huge casting that lasted for months, and we started to get to know these boys, to get close to them, and to understand which ones had the ability to perform for the screen, and at the same time to wanna get involved into this like long process of shooting. And basically we started reducing the number of kids until we went into a final selection, which was the one that stayed in the film.
And Joaquin did an amazing process of workshops with the young people before filming as well. It's just like
yeah, they were trained. Yeah, the kids were trained so as to get very ready for the first day of shoots. Yeah.
Were there any challenges or hiccups along the way?
I mean, there's always challenges. I guess the most difficult part was to maintain the energy amongst the boys, to maintain the motivation, and to leave them, to kind of talk to them through the film, because there's a few scenes that are quite strong, and it required a lot of talking. So that was difficult, but I wouldn't say a problem. And then the highlights many, as you the joy of sharing something like this. It's wonderful. Yeah.
For me, well, writing with Joaquin is always like a complete joy. I really love doing it. It's the second time we've written a feature film together, and it's always a really good adventure. And then in terms of difficult moments, I guess like production design on set was like sometimes challenging for me. And for example, all of the crew were sleeping in one dormitory of bunk beds, and all of the boys were sleeping in the next door dormitory of bunk beds. And I I was the only person in the end that slept for the duration in a tent outside, which was reasonably cold. And then after a point, they started to burn plastic in like a trash heap nearby. So yeah, like more like practical things, but that wasn't so easy.
What do you hope people are going to take away from this film? Has it kind of got a bit of Lord of the Flies element? And also, could you see it as like almost a prequel to Michel Franco's New Order? Like, so, what do you think people would take away?
No, I don't think the films are related in many ways, but I feel that the audience is going to take a deep, a strong analysis on privilege and power, on toxic masculinity, on the structures of violence that are like institutionalized, and I think just to be aware that we are surrounded by many forces that actually are threatening our individuality and our liberty, and I think just that analysis itself is quite strong. Yeah.
Similar things. I also wouldn't connect our film with Nuevo Orden, New Order, but I would hope. I mean, also that maybe to add to what Joaquin's already said, like I still have certain questions to do with what it means to show violence on camera, and then how the film might kind of reflect back upon that. For example, the medium of or the genre of thriller, like what kind of patterns it has within it, and like how that might reflect back upon, I don't know, things in the rest of our lives. So many Netflix series that have those narratives, and yeah.
And just very finally, how does it feel to have the movie screening as part of London Film Festival?
Well, I'm from London, so it's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to the screening on Saturday a lot, tomorrow. Yeah. And our family's coming.
Exactly, we don't know yet. We don't know the audience's reaction. We haven't got the chance to screen the film yet. So we're gonna actually screen on the last day of the festival, pretty much at the last hour. So whoever's lucky to get it will find it. Yeah.
Yeah, our film broke unfortunately in the last screening, or like it didn't happen our last screening.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, it would be really funny if it didn't happen.
If it doesn't happen tomorrow, then then it's meant to be.
But yeah, the benefits of celluloids are that obviously that can't happen.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and enjoy your screening. Thanks,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.